again, want to talk to you guys about what not to do on leash. I see this all the time. I want to tell you what I experience, what calls that I get, and all of the dogs that I work with. It's a tough hill to overcome if you allow your dog to do this while on leash, and that is meeting other dogs. Try to avoid it. The risk is not worth the gratitude, the dopamine hit that you get from getting, dogs meeting on leash. The only exception is if a dog is familiar with the other dog and they know each other. But if you don't want to create a really big problem in reactivity, in leash aggression, in just your dog being a horrible on leash, pulling on leash, that even creates pulling. When your dog is meeting other dogs on leash, you are essentially giving them nowhere to go if they don't want that other dog in their face, and then they get frustrated. So you really want to advocate for your dog, and you don't want to put them in that pressure bubble, because again, when they're on leash, they cannot go away from something that they don't want. And smart dogs, dumb dogs, well, I shouldn't say dumb dogs, less smart dogs can handle a lot of pressure. But smart dogs, like dogs that have been bred to do a specific task or job, they have a harder time with that. They have a harder time. Your German Shepherds, your healers, your collies, your terriers, your boxers, whatever. I mean, and that's just a few, just to name a few. But you want to make sure you're not meeting other dogs on leash, strange dogs, because again, even if that other dog isn't aggressive, it still can make your dog practice aggression, because this dog could be obnoxious. Let's say you're meeting a puppy, you're meeting the lab or the golden retriever, who is just pretty obnoxious about space to begin with. Your dog is going to go, all right, I can't go anywhere. I'm done having this dog. And they can't speak for themselves, and you're caught up in the conversation with the stranger, and you're caught up in the bliss that you get from the two dogs meeting, and you're missing the signs. You're not taking into the consideration what the dog is wanting. And then all of a sudden, and you're like, oh my God, it happened out of nowhere. Yeah, that's because you didn't read your dog, or you don't know what's going on. And then once again, if it's a fight that happens, worst case scenarios, you try and break it up, you get bit, or the dog gets very injured. And then there's a whole plethora of unwanted stuff, bills and that you don't want to deal with. And then you got to come then you have to come see someone like myself and spend a lot of money overcoming that hill that you just created. So to avoid potential bills from the vet, to avoid potential bills from the hospital, don't let your dog meet other strange dogs on leash. It would be like, no, we don't even like it. Humans don't even like it. Would you tolerate someone coming into your space? No, you wouldn't. You would become aggressive. You would become defensive, especially if you were in a trapped area. That's why some dogs get along with dogs off leash better than they do when they're on leash, because especially if you don't have the right dialogue, the whole leadership relationship is not there for you and your dog is pulling, you're really not protecting your dog at all. And in regards to off leash dogs, if you have a neighborhood where there's a lot of off leash dogs, then you have to do whatever you have to do to get those off leash dogs away from you. You do not want an off leash dog meeting your dog off when you're on leash. So bottom line, don't meet other dogs on leash. I know it's cute, I know it's adorable, but the risk is not worth it. You could end up developing a big issue with your dog that takes a long time for a dog to realize that it is safe to be on leash. But you'll create a dog who doesn't think so. They'll be pulling everywhere, they'll be marking everywhere, and as soon as they see a dog, they will get paranoid and start barking, saying, get the heck away from me. And you guys are like, what are you doing? What's going on? Well, you allowed strange dogs to meet your dog and they didn't like it. And you didn't connect the dots there. So don't do that. It's not worth it. Okay. We'll talk more about off-leash dogs that run up, because plenty of people have that issue. But for the most part, guys, you know, living in an apartment with dogs is not healthy for the dog. There's only maybe a few breeds, and then within those breeds, there's only a few temperaments that can be okay in apartments. If you got a German short-haired pointer, if you got a beagle, if you got a collie, if you've got a boxer or some dog, it's really unfair to be in apartments. But that's another video. We'll just stick with on leash. Don't do it. I know it's happy. I know you feel good about it, but it's not worth it. All right, you guys, that's the video of the day. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. If you guys have titles for videos that you would like for me to discuss, drop them down below, and we'll do videos on the requested ones, okay? All right, you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next one.